Okay, awesome. All right, so show of hands, how many of you went to SFR in person? Okay, and how many of you attended SFR virtually? Yay, awesome. And how many of you attended SFR for your very first time? Anybody? Nope, okay. That will be some of you next year raising your hand, right? For those of you who attended virtually, I'm just curious how that went. Was it a good experience, or can you tell us just a little tad? Anybody want to unmute themselves and give us a little bleep of how virtual went? Alyssa, calling
For
you.
sure, I'll say something. For sure, it wasn't as fun as your guys' in person. I think we literally missed out. It looked awesome. I think for next time, I think, with all the great stuff you guys had done, I think I'm gonna go to the next one.
Yay, that's awesome. It's definitely a good alternative for people who can't make it if they have to work or things like that. But yes, you do miss out on some of the fun when you're not there in person. Okay, well, I'm just going to start real quick to let you know what kind of transpired at the very, very beginning. And the very coolest thing I think about this SFR was that Heidi and Orville were back. How many of you have never met Heidi and Orville or joined like after 2020? So, okay, quite a few of you. They are like our mom and dad, or like our grandma and grandpa, and they just take care of us. They just, I don't even know how to explain it. They are the culture of Scentsy. They are the heart of Scentsy. So them coming back was amazing. And the very first night at leadership, Orville announced that Dan Orchard will continue to be, well, he was president and interim CEO, but he is going to continue to be CEO. So they're dropping the interim off. And so Dan is going to still take care of the day-to-day operations of Scentsy. But Heidi and Orville are coming back, and they're coming back. Their title is going to be co-chairs. And basically, they're going to take care of us. They're going to take care of the culture of Scentsy and take care of things that they see that the consultants need. So to me, that made me very happy because, like I said, they're the heart of Scentsy and they have our best interests in mind. One of the things I was curious about was, what their role was going to be and what Scentsy looks like 10, 15 years from now. And the cool thing is that they are looking at that. They are looking at Scentsy 15 years from now, 20 years from now, and even longer than that. The day that we got to leadership, I don't know if you guys heard, but another direct sales company went to an affiliate model, Rodan and Fields. I don't know if you've heard about that, but basically what that meant was they took away the direct sales part of Rodan and Fields, and anyone who had people under them no longer will make money on the people under them. They're only going to make money on what they sell. So those people who were maybe like superstar directors or whatever, bringing in, $10,000, $5,000, $100,000 a month, all of a sudden next month that's going away. And Heidi or Orville assured us that that is not going to happen with Scentsy. Scentsy is here for the long run, and Scentsy's or Heidi and Orville's kids are all playing a role in Scentsy right now, and they want to leave Scentsy to their kids. Their kids are going to take over for them. So they're leaving a legacy for their kids, and they want us to have businesses that we can leave as a legacy to our family as well. So Scensy's not going anywhere. And if you were wondering about that, we're not. And that's different than any direct sales company out there. So that made me very happy to hear that, especially on the very, very first day. He also talked about the highs and lows of the business. So since he went through some real highs in 2020 with COVID, and now we're kind of going down and we're just about ready to pick it back up. And they're calling that Scentsy 3.0. And I'm going to let Brandy talk a little bit about that.
Hi guys. So I'll try and say this quietly because if I talk too much, I start coughing. So Scentsy 3.0 was a big overall kind of theme of this last week. And it's like, what is the new Scentsy? What are we gonna do different? And a lot of SSDs came up with this slogan of being disruptive, of how are we going to disrupt the sorry, my head is like literally not in this. How are we going to disrupt the way we were, right? We hit this peak for during COVID, and now we're going down, and it's up to us to make it go back up. And the feeling that I got was that during COVID, our businesses could have died, right? I mean, how can we sell a product that people can't see and smell? How can we sell a product online that you have to smell to want? But we did it, we thrived. And that was because consultants band together and said, we're not going to let this die. Like, we are not giving up on our businesses. So here we are again at this valley, and how are we going to transition this up? And it's going to be up to us to not give up, because this is the easiest time to give up. And what are we going to do? So how are you going to work on your business? Are you going to go back to the basics of what we did before and really dive in? You're going to come up with something new, and Scentsy is ready for it. They have put into place so many things at home office that we can't fail. Basically, they have automated the, sorry, I have cat hair on my face. They've automated the packing system, so you'll notice your orders are going to start packing quick because they have a new automated system. They have done just so much at home office to be ready for us. The product line that we have coming for the fall, and in the catalog, and the LTOs, the new licenses, I mean, they have done everything in their power to give us the tools we need, and now it's up to us to decide what are we going to do. So so I think that's the biggest thing. If you're ready to like really grow your business and change your mindset, it needs to be a growth mindset. And what are you going to do? So what I did was I sat down and I kind of listed out like what worked before, what didn't work before, some trends that I'm seeing, where do I want to go with my business, who is interested in selling Scentsy. Because I know I personally have exhausted my resources, like the customers that I have now, I'm tapped out. So how and where am I going to go look for new customers? And then, and how am I going to do sales? What do sales look like? Is it still the same party plan that we had before? Is it a mix of a bunch of different things? Like where does that go? So for me, after coming back, I'm sitting down, I'm looking at what is my Scentsy 3.0? Who am I going to focus on as customers, as new consultants, and where's my business going to go?
That's awesome. Yes, because the potential's there. They are ready for us to do something. One thing that we did back in April of 2020 was the consultants banded together and did something called Active in April, where they wanted everyone to sell $200 because they didn't want our company to sink, right, or fail. So that kind of was the beginning of the resurgence back then. So they are going to do an Active in August, and I posted the information about that today. So I would highly recommend to jump on that bandwagon. There's a Facebook group for it. They're going to give you PRB tips every day, as well as tips on Mondays and Fridays. So get your team on that. And I think that could be just the jump start that we need in August to make this a really great fall and winter season. Okay, so that's kind of leadership, the state of the company, Scentsy 3.0. Now, how are we going to get there? Or I guess what I want to talk about next are just kind of the different things that happened at SFR and maybe your guys' takeaways. So one of the things that was there because of our 20th anniversary was the museum. And it was really cool. It was like a chapter book. They actually had like books cut out and you like would walk through. And at the beginning of each chapter, I think they did like 4 different chapters by year. It would have a page of everybody who joined that year. And then when you went in, it showed everything that happened that year and everything that was introduced, whether it was a new product like Grace Adele or like our Layers line or the Buddies, that kind of thing was all through there. So that was really interesting to go through. And I hope they recreate that somehow at Scentsy headquarters or something. I don't know. But did anyone have any takeaways or any aha moments from the museum?
I guess for me, if no one else is jumping in,
Oh,
um, I had the privilege of going to home office and going to director boot camp in 2022 and getting to actually see the shipping container in real life. But for them recreating all of those things that you may not get to see unless you're at home office or unless you get to be going to director boot camp, it's really special. And I think my favorite part was the banana nut bread in the original, like kind of wrapping that they had. And if you've seen any of the pictures from anyone that went to SFR, it would be cool if we would have done like a slide as like a PowerPoint right now, like all of the pictures. But it's, I mean, the shipping container just is like, if you can imagine, just rolls of stickers and all different scented and all of the, it's just wild to think that they started from that from those beginnings to when you go around to where we are now with all of the different licensing and all of the different products and LTOs and how much they've given back to charity and to local organizations, like going from working in a sheep farm to the Scentsy Commons, which is like a huge campus where the public can come and enjoy it as well by having lunch there. That was really cool to see that there for people who haven't, seen home office or, really know their story. It was really like a museum. Like you could have paid to go in there and it would have been worth it.
And the cool thing is that we are all part of that story. I loved the second chapter because that was kind of my chapter. And it's kind of what I remember, but we're all part of that story and we're still writing our stories. So this story is not ending. That was not the end. That was just the beginning. And there's so many more chapters to write. So glad you guys are part of it. And if you want to ever go back and, Google a YouTube that says Scentsy Story, it's a rags to riches story, guys. Heidi and Orville were on the verge of bankruptcy, so it's really inspiring. So go back and check that out if you haven't got to do that before. One thing they did different this year was, well, not super different, but it was a little different, something called an expo, where we got to go walk through and get ideas from other consultants. And what they did is for everybody who went in person, they did a special report for us talking about our numbers and what we're selling and how much we're selling and if we're getting new customers and if our team's recruiting and if we're getting new recruits. And it was just this report full of really good information for us to look over. But they did recommended personalized training for us. So they broke it down into 4 things, I think: finding new customers, increasing repeat customers, recruiting new team members, or helping team members promote. And we would click on something and it would tell us where to start. And then once we got done with that one, it would tell us which one to go to next. And there was so much good information. Does anyone have aha moments on the expo? I know there was a lot, but anything jump out at you that you want to share? I'll start while you're thinking. Okay. One was Scentsy Connect. So Scentsy Connect is the new follow-up app that Scentsy created. It's very much like Amy, if you ever used Amy in the past. When Amy went out of business, everybody was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And Scentsy took the bull by the horns and created their own Amy. So it's synced up to our workstation and your phone, and it lets you know when somebody places an order to thank them. It lets you know when somebody's order is delivered to ask them if they got their product and how they liked it. So it's a very cool app that's going to things are going to be added to it in the long term. It's going to add teams later and all kinds of features are going to be added to it. But for right now, it's kind of basic. If you haven't downloaded it yet, who's downloaded it? You see little hands? Yay. I want everybody to download it by the 31st. And start using it. It's not really useful if you're not selling to people, right? So if you don't have any follow-ups to do, or if you don't have any products that have been delivered, make it a point to go build that customer base and get out there so that it will be beneficial to you. But if you can get all your teams using that Connect, I think that's going to be amazing. Anything you want to add about Connect, Brandy? I know you talked to the guy who was putting it together for a while. Anything I'm forgetting?
Yeah, Christy and I talked to Tim, I think his name was, and he was the one who is heading Cincy Connect. And he so the main thing is anytime you have an order, don't do bulk orders. We used to do bulk orders during COVID, when things would sell out in 5 seconds, so you needed to just put it under one person and order it really quick to get out. We don't really have that problem anymore, so you should be ordering every person's order under their name and putting in the information of that customer, at least their phone number and their email if you can. Because as Sensi Connect grows, they're going to be able to create a group of people for you to connect with. So for example, next month, set of the month is sunflowers. So they would be able to look back in your history and see all the people who have ordered either sunflower scents or sunflower warmers, and create a list of people that says, these people have all ordered sunflower products. You should connect with them about the scent and warmer of the month this month. So they're going to start creating these groups of people for you to connect with. And if you're not putting in any information, I know I was one of those people, then you won't have anybody on these lists. So Sensi Connect is going to be really amazing for our businesses, for follow-up and yeah, just like follow up and giving you streamlining on what to do. If you wake up in the morning and you don't know what to do for your business today, open Sensi Connect and it'll say you have 5 tasks to do. Follow up with this person about reordering, follow up with this person if their order was delivered, etc. So really, I highly recommend getting that up to date. And if you do know people's information, you can go into your workstation, start putting in their phone numbers and stuff now so that it will pop up, and just going forward, make sure you add everyone to an order.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's going to be great, especially for busy people who maybe have full-time jobs. Maybe you only have 10 minutes to work on your business a day or 15 minutes to work on your business a day. Get that app out and use that to be productive.
And it's free. I mean, you're paying for it with your workstation, your website, all of that stuff, but essentially it's free. So it's just that you're at a disadvantage if you're not using it.
All right, another thing that I've loved in Expo was something called success paths. And I haven't really dug deep into them yet, but I'm going to because they are amazing. I think if any of you started anytime recently in the last 1 to 2 years, on your workstation, there was a first things first checklist that you just checked off, and it had you to watch videos and do some trainings. They have those for every title now. If you go to the training center and click on success paths, so the training tab, I guess, at the workstation, click on success paths, find the one for your title. So if you're an essential consultant or you want to promote to certified, it's going to give you these little tasks to do. Check them off, watch that video, check it off, read this, check it off. And when you get done with that, you should be to the point where you're going to certify and promote to your next rank. So they have one for every rank right now, except Star Director and Superstar Director. Star Director is coming out in August, I believe, and then Superstar Director will be after that. So it's there. So again, if you're wondering what to do for your business, I would do Cincy Connect and I would go to your success path and start on that little journey. I'm going to try to put some trainings together on that, but it's really meant to do it individually. So also, if you have a brand new consultant, pop them over, make sure they know about that essential consultant success path. And that will train them, you know, for you, not for you, with you, with you. It'll be a good resource. Just lots of ideas from about all kinds of things at the expo that it was just hard to take notes and things. They are gonna post that information later. They're just trying to get it translated right now in all the different languages. So it's gonna be a bit. But anybody else have anything they want to share from expo?
I do. I
Yeah.
actually like the social media basics that they have. It's because I've been meeting a lot of people, like new people, because of my sister's K-pop little endeavors. And so it's nice to be able like, oh, everyone's like on Instagram. And I'm like, oh, I could do like Instagram. It's a little easier to like post little things, right? And they're teaching you how to, I guess if you want to use it as a marketing thing, what to put, you know, how to present certain things. And I thought that was really helpful. And it makes me more excited. Okay, I should try to get on social media. It'll be easier, you know, to deal with it. So and
Awesome.
navigate.
Yeah. I think one thing a lot of us learned this week was that TikTok is a thing. It's like the thing. So if you want to get noticed or whatever, I think TikTok is a thing. Yeah, even when I got back, maybe it wasn't even before I got back. One of my customers did a little screenshot of the villains warmer. She goes, I want this when it comes out. I'm like, okay. And then I looked at it closer to see like what it was. It was a TikTok video from somebody, but yay that she contacted me instead of them. But but yeah, it's a thing, TikTok. So if you're not on there yet, you might want to think about that.
Yeah, I think when we were talking to the guy about Cincy Connect, he said that I want to say he said 40% of people now, instead of Googling a question, they're TikToking the question.
Wow.
So it is definitely a thing. It's made me a better cook, so I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Oh,
If people have short attention spans, we like we only want to look at something for 3 to 5 minutes. There you go. So make sure that you're using that tool for sure.
They also said that searching Sensi is searched more on TikTok than it is on Google. TikTok is the #1 search engine for Sensi. That makes sense.
Oh my God.
What?
I'll say when I was doing my fairs last summer, people would come by all the time. Oh, I saw that on TikTok. Oh, I saw that on TikTok. Or I saw this on TikTok. Do you have it? So it's yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun.
That was my kind of, I like to go through the expo by myself. Christy and I have done this for years. Even though we do like everything together, we might just focus on something else. And I sat with the social media people for over an hour. I have like a million notes and videos of with them because Facebook is out, man. The algorithms and all the things, like Facebook is out. It's Instagram and TikTok. And
Facebook is out, Instagram and TikTok are in now. People are TikToking
Oh.
instead of Googling. They're
Sherry,
looking up on
Sherry,
TikTok.
you're unmuted. There you go. You're okay. You're sharing the information.
She's excited.
Yeah, she's excited. So that's the thing. Facebook is out. I mean, I believe it. I see it. And just like you were saying, people are like, oh, I saw that on TikTok, or I had the same thing. I had somebody the day Villains was announced, I had a customer message me saying she needs this. And I'm like, how do you know about this already? You know, TikTok or Instagram, I don't remember, but it was one of the two. And so I'll share a video with Yvonne. She can share it in the Blessed Beyond Belief page. But Chat GPT, Georgia Pacific time, Chat GPT. Kona, can you get this dog? Please. It's dinner time, past dinner time. Is I thought was like artificial, right? Like it's not really me. That I could do it on my own. I don't need Chat GPT. It's fine. but holy smokes, you can go chatgpt.com, create your own account and start teaching it about you and what you are looking for. And in what they showed me in this social media booth was that you can tell it like, I want to create content for social media for a week. And there's a whole bunch more details, but that's essentially it. And it will give you a calendar. Monday on Facebook, post this. Monday on Instagram, post this. Post a reel on Instagram this day. Post a video TikTok on this. It'll give you the emojis to use, the hashtags to use, like it will lay it all out. And of course you can change it a little bit to fit your personality. But I was like, wow. So now on Mondays, I don't have to sit here for 5 hours trying to figure out what I'm going to do all week. It will lay it out for me, and I just have to make the videos or do the videos. And that is my Scentsy 3.0. I was really big on Facebook, and just share that, seeing how Heidi and Orville are bringing in their kids to take over the business. That's 3.0. That's the Gen Zers. If you think about who wants to make money and not have to work, right? That's TikTok, that's Instagram, that's doing reels and videos where that they could just start making money sharing social selling without having to work a job. That's those kids. And that's what I think is Scentsy 3.0 for me is, my daughter's 20. Another friend that sells Scentsy, her daughter's 20 and she's all in. Talking to some kids this last week. I call them kids, but they're, young adults. And that's the thing. Even when I was staying at Danette's house, they have pro pickleball players asking them who are, one girl, she gets paid $130,000 a year to just post social stuff about pickleball. Like, what? What? Are you kidding me? And she was asking to join Scentsy so she could do Scentsy too. She's like, I already have the followers. I already have the people. Like, if I just share a little bit of Scentsy, all these people are going to see it. If I share how I put a scent pack in, she doesn't have to build a team if she doesn't want to. If you want to, great, get other influencers, but she's an influencer and she's already got all these people. So find a few influencers. That's my Scentsy 3.0, 2.1, 3.0. Yeah. Sorry.
And that's part of the be disruptive too. Like, think out of the box. We got to think differently. We can't be doing the same thing that we did before. So exciting stuff. All right. I think somebody asked, it was Chat GPT.
I'll type it.
Okay, thanks. Sound bites was another thing that it's kind of like Expo, but another way to get information from other leaders. Sound bites are kind of like TED Talks. You guys know what TED Talks are? I know Christy does. But they're little, I think they had 8 minutes to talk on certain subjects. And we had different sessions that we went to. So different leaders would talk on these different things. So Amber's going to talk about that a little bit, even though maybe I just talked about it a little too much. Sorry, Amber.
That's right. My part will be a little shorter, but yes. Sound bites are really cool because at SFR, it's a busy day. This year, they built in a lot more downtime than we usually have. And this year, I didn't have leadership dinner, and usually there's a leadership event in the morning, the day that SFR starts. And this year, they did not do that. So it felt like there was more downtime built in, but usually it's very go, go, go. And you get tired. If you're sitting in a general session or in a large room where you're hearing somebody speaking for more than 15 minutes at a time, you're going to start to get drowsy. You're going to start to want to take your afternoon nap because you're just walking for miles every day. So these sound bites are like mini TED Talks, 8 minutes. Each person, has to share. They usually do a call before SFR for people who want to volunteer to speak on a particular topic. They're also probably handpicking some people or asking if some people would like to speak about certain things if you know, they have really high PRV or they're getting, you know, the annual mentor, annual sales. They may be reaching out to some people, but you get to see you know, people from director to star director, superstar director, some people that, you know, if you follow Scentsy consultants, some are very well known. And you get the privilege of hearing them speak. And the cool part is that you don't know necessarily who you're going to get in your soundbite session. So not everyone goes to the same session. There are multiple sessions that happen on 2 different days. There were 2 sessions on 2 different days. So I believe 4 sessions in total. And it's about an hour and a half total, but you get like 9 or so speakers, 10 speakers. And it's always cool to see who they're going to announce next. But there are topics, like I took a lot of notes on my phone this year, which I said this year I'm going to do a lot of electronic notes because I tend to be a paper note taker, and then I don't do anything with the notes. And these speakers often share QR codes that link you to, you know, onboarding resources, or sometimes Canva templates, or a number of different business tools. So I wanted to take notes in my notes section of my phone so I could paste links. I also took a picture of the people who were speaking and put it in there so I could see their face and have their name next to it. But I took some notes for each person. And obviously I'm not going to go through, you know, every person and what they talked about, but there is a variety of topics that they're talking about. So they're covering things like, you know, increasing your club, sponsoring your you know, sales, team culture. There's all different topics. And so you get to hear a little bit from a lot of different perspectives, people that think differently than you do, people that have different ideas. Sometimes you're in your head and you're thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm the only one that struggles with this. And you see an SSD getting on stage, literally you're feeling so seen, like, oh my gosh, they're talking to me, because it's like, yes, I've had those slumps. You've had, you know, people who are SSDs who didn't do anything with their business at first, or had slumps, or kind of gave up on themselves for a minute and they got their head back in it, or they had a goal to increase their club subscribers, you know, from maybe 0, less than 5 club subscribers to, let's see, did I write that down from Kimberly Nation? How many? She gets over $2,000 a month, I believe, PRV from just club subscribers. And that was just what her focus was. So a lot of it is just pick one thing. Pick one thing you want to focus on. It's easy to get overwhelmed with all of the different speakers, all of the different topics. But from that, I can go through this and say, you know what, this could really help me. I really need to focus on sponsoring, or I really need a better way to onboard when I sponsor, because I'm sending the same text message out and I feel like I'm just like all over the place. It's like, here's how I do it. And you can choose to try that out. And if it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you. But it's really great to hear how similar, how you have things in common with people, but also things that people think of. I can't believe the creativity sometimes, or just the circumstances that people have that they overcome, and like they're here with, you know, single moms, people who are foster parents, people who are you know, didn't come from the greatest, you know, upbringing or childhood or living circumstances, and they've just, you know, believed in Scentsy so much. And it's very, so I highly recommend sound bites. It's something that could be easy for you to skip. It's easy to be like, oh, I don't want to go to that. It's not required. They're not going to give a giveaway. Like, they're not going to do, but it's so rewarding and inspiring. I think this was my favorite sound bites of all the SFRs I've been to. This by far was my biggest like aha. And I think it has a lot to do with me taking notes and really paying attention, and not letting my tiredness just let me just zone out while they're talking. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did they do sound bites for virtual? I'm just curious. Did you get to do it? Oh, good. I was gonna say too, if you guys see, I know I see lots of posts on Facebook and stuff. If you guys see somebody post one of their sound bites, if you'd shared over in the Blessed Family page, that would be great. There were so many, and I only saw so many and missed 2 sessions. So share those. And then also if you're thinking that sounds like something that you would like to look more into, you could do that on YouTube too, guys, right? Like you could go to YouTube and search Scentsy sponsoring tips or how to earn an incentive trip with Scentsy. And you can find videos there too. So don't just wait or think, oh gosh, I didn't get to go there and I don't know what the sound bites are or where to find them. You can be resourceful and find little tidbits like that online as well.
I
All
was
right.
gonna ask about the sound bites. Were you guys able to go to all of them or virtually, or did you just pick one and see one?
So I downloaded the Feed Loop Go app, just like you guys did. And because I got the virtual ticket, they gave me a password. So I logged in and got to see all the same things that you guys got to see on the app. So you guys can see it too. You can go back and it'll say agenda and you can go through and I think they're still kind of funneling through all the different languages for everybody. But of course, the English one is first. So it has the first day and of SFR. And then all the sound bites. There are three, I think there's 3 sound bites, and it's like a little over an hour long. So I just once it became live, because I couldn't watch it live the whole time. It took about a day or 2 or 3 days for it to go through, and then I just powered through all of them. So
Perfect. Yeah.
Did you have a favorite one?
I love Jen Audette, and she was great. But it was great because they all had little nuggets of everything. And like Amber said, it was like, oh, wow, yes, of course. These are things I already knew, but it was good to hear it again to kind of get you revitalized. So
Awesome. And we could sit here and ask everybody to tell us their favorite soundbite, but then we would be at 9 o'clock. So I'm not going to do that. But if you want to share them on Must Be on Believe page, there's a little thing there that says SFR aha moments. You could pop them down there if you want to share with people. All right. One of the best things about SFR is always Heidi and Orville's keynote speeches. They work hard on those speeches to tell us exactly what they think we need to know at that moment. And one thing that Orville said in his, which I thought was interesting, he's like, if you want to know what to do in this business, go back and listen to our keynotes. He's like, I don't think he wanted to say it again. Like we already told you guys all the good things. So again, that's something that you could totally go Google on YouTube or search on YouTube and find their keynotes. So go back and do that. Orville's speech this time, if I'm gonna ask you guys if there's anything you remember from it to share on Heidi, Orville, Dan, and Diana. So be thinking about that for a second. But the one thing that I wrote down most for Orville that made me think, he did like this little quadrant thing. But basically it said, there's no comfort in the growth zone, but there's no growth in the comfort zone. I thought that was really good. So it was all about these zones that you were in. And then that he said to go back and look at all the keynotes. So anything else you guys remember with Orville? And Orville's was hard because it was during awards night, so I didn't even have my notebook to try to take notes. So, but anything else you guys want to share on that?
My takeaway from Orville, and this was my first time getting to see Heidi and Orville for real because I joined in 2020.
That's awesome.
And the last two have not been there. And so I was like, I can't wait for this. But I really I feel like he is like your dad. Like he has some things. People aren't always nice. If you're on, social media, some of the Scentsy pages, people can just be negative Nancy's. Like it's real easy to just be like, it's Scenty's fault. This sold out. It's not fair. This flash sale's not going right. And just all of the things that are negative. And they see that too. And they're not the kind of people who are going to call people out and make people feel bad or like, come on, we need to act better. He's going to craft a message that hits you hard, but in the most warm way. It's like amazing how he can do that. But a lot of the, the attitudes that you can have and the entitlement that some people can have. And my favorite thing that he said was about being angry about an LTO selling out that you didn't have even any intention to sell. So, and I was just like, oh, mic drop. Like it just like, because, and being, talked about the zones, and I don't know if you plan on posting this, Yvonne. It's so good, just the different quadrants and where you don't want to be, where you're in a quadrant of blaming and just ungratefulness sort of, and negativity. You gotta stand for something, but you gotta move forward and have that growth. And I think that was exactly what we needed to hear, because it's been a while and things can get a little cray behind a keyboard, especially where people are brave. And I think we needed that at that moment, and kind of that reminder to keep pushing forward and to not be sucked into the negativity.
Yeah.
That just hit me like, ooh.
It's so good. And for those of you who haven't been around since before COVID, that's what he would do. He would come in and gently give a little Orville spank, like, and we've been missing that over the last 3 years, especially on the director page when people get on there and go on rants. In the past, he would get on those threads and he would correct it and turn it around and everyone would shut up. And it was so nice. So I'm excited to have dad back. What about Heidi? Heidi. She said, just to start it off with, but you can add on to it if you want, that when she went to England, she said it was very gloomy and she just wanted the sun. Um, and she prayed for the sun. And guess what? The 2 years she was there were the hottest summers they'd had on record in forever. So she got her sun, but she said that we're like sunflowers, and sunflowers always face towards the sun. They actually like move. Um, and so like if you're looking towards the sun, you're seeing the sun and the shadows are behind you. So she said, if you're filled with Scentsy spirit, that you are going to radiate sunshine to others. So that was just the way Heidi is. She made us cry a little, she always does. But anything else you guys want to share on Heidi's keynote? I would encourage you to go back and watch her other ones too. She always has such good tidbits, good quotes and things. Dan Orchard also gave a little speech, which he was pretty good too. I hadn't seen that side of him before, but he equated his to like a bicycle ride kind of. And he said going uphill is hard, but when you get to the top, it's the best view. And then he said downhill declines prepare you for the next climb. So that's where we are right now. We're in a little downhill climb and it's preparing us for the next climb, the Scentsy 3.0. Anything else to share but from Dan? Nope. Okay. Well, I know you guys have something to share from Diane and Nayad. She is the gal who swam from Cuba to Florida and it took her 8 tries and she never gave up and she made it happen. And there's a movie about it, 2 movies. Anybody want to share about that a little bit? She was an amazing speaker.
I think everybody was on the edge of their seat. There was not, you could hear a pin drop in that room of like however many thousands of people, like just
No one was going to the
waiting.
bathroom.
Oh, yes. And it's like, you just, that's another thing. Yeah. You just never, it's never the right time to get up and go to the bathroom. You're going to miss a giveaway or something. But it was a long one, a very long one, but she's such an amazing storyteller that you're just right there. You are just captured in that moment of where she's at. You're right there with her.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm kind of glad I didn't see the movie before because I would have known the ending or, but I would suggest, I did watch the movies the last 2 nights. They're on Netflix. I would suggest to watch the documentary first because that's really her and Bonnie, her partner. It's really, really them. And then watch the movie afterwards because then it's Annette Bening and Jodie Foster and it's different. It's still really, really good. But I think the documentary sets it up a little bit better, but just the tenacity to never give up. She went through some amazing, awful stuff and she never gave up. And then her little quote was, could have you done it 1 fingernail faster? So for her swimming, you're like hitting the edge. Like she's like, if I could have done it one fingernail better or one fingernail faster, she just always gave it her best and never gave up. And she did this, guys, when she was how old was she? 65, I think.
I think she was 60.
64.
But then she tried it 5 times when it started, she was 60 and she tried it 5 times. So I don't know. She was old. She's older than me. And she did it. So that's pretty amazing. Giveaways, talk about the giveaways. Virtual people, I think yours have shipped if you've noticed, or have you got them yet? I'm not sure. No, okay, somebody I saw today said that they're shipped, so you should get giveaways. It was $350 to go to convention, and I think we got about that back in free stuff. So lots of good things coming up. I'll start an album in the BBB page with pictures of the new things so that you guys can look there. I'll also post a calendar that will show when LTOs are going to, the LTOs that we saw or that we know about are going to launch this fall winter season. So you'll have something to look at. Of course, things change and, watch your news tab for that. But one of the main things that not main thing, but thing that they announced was The Lord of the Rings, which comes out on Monday, which is our Cheers to 20 Years LTO item that we've been waiting to see. What do we have to sell 3 of in July? Because they waited so long to show us, we have until August to do it too, but we just need to sell 3 products from the Lord of the Rings collection. So it can be the warmer or it can be 3 bars, whatever you want it to be. I would suggest don't skimp out on 3 bars, guys. This is a cool collection. So if somebody orders 3 bars, don't stop there. Keep promoting it, okay? Because you can get some more sales from that, I'm sure.
They have that scent for you to smell there.
Yeah.
I missed it. I didn't smell it. Is it a good one? What did you think of it?
I remember it, to me, like if you thought of the Shire, that's what it kind of would smell like woodsy, kind of fresh, outdoorsy, kind of. But that's all I can really kind of remember. It wasn't bad, but it was good. Yeah.
Trish, were you about to skip description?
Say again.
I think Trisha was about to
Yeah, I was
give
gonna say
her
it was like
Oh.
woodsy, like you would smell like, if you were surrounded with trees and I don't know, smelled green and earthy to me. I thought it was pleasant. If you like the outdoors, I liked it.
Yeah.
So and I like the fact that it wasn't, like fruity or florally, like
Mhm.
really felt like you were in the Shire.
Mhm.
Awesome. Yeah, I missed that one. Thank you.
So we'll be sharing more of the new stuff, obviously. The new catalog, new testers can be bought on August 1st, and the new catalog is products will launch on September 1st. Okay. The next cool thing, we're almost to the end here, guys. Incentive. They always announce where the next incentive is going to be. That's why we like going to SFR, I think, just to get that big announcement. So, Christy, you want to talk about the incentive?
Sure, it's my favorite thing to talk about. So, one of the things I'm so glad Amber reminded me because I took a lot of notes on my phone too. And Orville said, "What are the chances?" 100%. 100% are your chances of everything right now. So we don't know what the secret recipe is, but we do know that it's going to be sponsoring. And I know that makes some people nervous. I even see SSDs don't want to do it or they don't like that. But I always want to say that sponsoring is the carrot that they dangled, for this beautiful trip that we're going to take to Greece, but really it's going to take your business to the next level. So they announced, I can't remember the dates. I did not write that down.
June 13th through the 20th. Mark it on your calendar because you guys are busy.
So write that down. And I know probably you wanted me to talk more about like the trip, but I feel like right now you just have to get excited about all the possibilities. Like I feel like we have a catalog coming up that I mean, I haven't been this excited for a minute. Like, we have some really good things. We have all the possibilities for you guys to get out there and host parties and have reasons to talk to people. And it's uncomfortable at first, but the more you do it, like, it's just gonna get easier and easier for you. And if you're in the mindset that you're just having that servitude mindset, that you're really just showing, like, really, we're just trying to get people to have parties and all the things, and then the next step is we're just showing them the business. And there's nothing to be scary about that, because I think I'm looking at Amber, Brandy, I don't remember about Yvonne, but we've all joined. I mean, Alyssa, we've all joined because of the things that we were going to get, really. And we changed it into to something else. And so we've been talking about all the tools that there is. I mean, we have fundraising, we have Sensi Connect. Use the tools that we have, and we're going to be successful. I mean, like we said, Brandy and I sat and talked with the guy that did Sensi Connect, and he said, use that as your tool. You're not going to fail. You're going to get wherever you want to go. So, my thing for the incentive for you is use the tools, use Sensi Connect. Starting today, just give yourself a month at a time and say, I'm going to use this every day, and I'm going to check back in with myself and see what it looks like, and keep going. Whatever you're telling yourself from the beginning, and that's why I wanted to talk to you about that, that's what your mindset's going to go. So I just say, everybody write on a piece of paper that you're going to earn this trip, and you have all of us to fall back and ask questions. We're all here for each other. I mean, it's just so exciting. I want you guys to be excited, and I don't want you to have it in the back of your mind that you can't do it. I just want you to just look forward and put it down and just say, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there. Because it is absolutely worth it. And I'll tell you something. I've been a consultant since 2011. It was the first incentive I didn't win. I mean, oh my God, I didn't earn, and it like hurt my heart a little bit, but it was all me. It was all me. I had decided that I couldn't do it, and that's why I didn't do it. So, yeah. So I don't know if anybody would like to add to that.
I would just say, don't think that you can't earn it, because people here have. Raise your hand if you've earned an incentive trip or any level of an incentive trip. You guys have been on these trips. It's not just SSDs that earn it. And actually, sometimes it's easier for a new consultant or an essential consultant to earn it, because they get all the promotion points for promoting during the qualification periods. So don't think you can't do this. You can. And once you do, you're never going to not want to do it again, ever. Because it's amazing traveling Sensi style.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like it, for sure.
I feel like this trip, if you didn't see, is a 7-day cruise to Greece and Turkey. It kind of reminds me of the Mediterranean cruise that we took, maybe, I think it was 7 or 8 years ago. And it was incredible, incredible. I have never worked so hard. Well, no. I've never wanted something like Hawaii is exciting for most people, but Greece, holy smokes, like that's something, like you could plan a trip to Hawaii, but planning a trip to Greece seems like just so out of reach for so many people, and it really isn't. And like Christy said, it is very likely that it's going to be sponsoring heavy. It always is. But you just have to have that sponsoring mindset. And I will tell you, it is like a little spark of wildfire. So while we were at SFR, started growing, that we have this spark, and Kathleen sponsored an Uber driver while we were in the car with her, invited her to come see the Scentsy Museum the next day, like got her going. I sponsored somebody from home and I was like, you know what? Like, why shouldn't we be telling everybody about this? Everybody is looking for an extra source of income right now. Like, tell me you're not, if you know. And from the sound bites, this kind of goes off track, but from the sound bites of Casalitas, if you can go back and watch it, watch that one. And she said, if you're a Scentsy consultant and you're looking for another source of income, you're doing something wrong in your business. And she talked about 10, I called them mini businesses within your Scentsy business. So you should have 10, you shouldn't focus your whole business on just parties, right? If the only thing you're doing in your business is hosting parties, hosting any parties, your business is failing. So, think about little things like whiff box. That could be one business within your Scentsy business. How many whiff boxes are you going to sell a month? Scentsy Club, follow up, etc. So figure out 10 little mini businesses, and one of those is sponsoring. And if you're talking about it and you have this sponsoring mindset of like, every person that I talk to, I'm going to give them the opportunity. What is it about them that I see is amazing and would do great in Scentsy? Make it about them, not about you. And sponsor the heck out of people from the very beginning, and you can earn this trip. Like, if you want it, you're gonna work really hard for it.
There you go. And Casalita said 10 sponsoring conversations a day. That's how Kathleen got the Uber driver, because we said we were going to practice. So if anytime you get in an Uber, I think every Uber or Lyft driver should be a Scentsy consultant and put, set in their car and have them scan something and they're good to go. So practice, even if you're gonna practice with your best friend, like just start, like I think at World Tour we gave out the bracelets, like we need to load our bracelets up and stick them on the other side and just start having conversations with people that you don't think are going to join. You'll be surprised, and you've planted the seed. So really it's double duty. Like, you're not only just having the conversation, but you have planted a seed. And you can also say, and if it's not for you right now, maybe you can steer me towards somebody that you think might, want to earn half off, free stuff, pay for their kids' school clothes or Christmas, and start having those conversations.
Or just buy groceries, people.
Yeah.
Groceries
I'm just excited for people. I'm just excited for you guys to start doing that, because it gets so exciting when you get one person that's excited to do it, and then you can kind of show them the way. Like Brandy says, that spark gets lit and you're just so excited. So you can always message us and go, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I just had a conversation, like whatever. Because you just get so giddy about it.
And
So-
once you have your first one, it's so much easier. So it's always scary to get that first one. Then you're like, oh, that wasn't so hard. I could do this. And then you move on.
And then don't just leave them there. Remember, start getting them excited and help them do their first party, and we're, like I said, we're always here for questions or ideas or whatever. I think we have a really good circle of people that are here to help.
Use those success paths, and use the incentive trip points as a business plan too. Everything that they have us do to earn those points helps you build your business. So if you have a new consultant trying to earn the trip, they're gonna be building their business because they're gonna be doing those things. So yeah. All right, there's gonna be a top tier to this too, a trip to Peru, to that, I can't say it, I don't know what it is.
Machu Picchu.
There you go. That place. So that will be amazing too. So, and don't think that's ever out of reach, because it's not if you try. So, okay, I'm going to talk just one thing, other announcements that they made. I just want to make sure you guys know, if you didn't see, starting yesterday, maybe the day Monday, they started, well, Disney produced a commercial for us. It's with our Stitch products, and they're showing it on Disney Plus, guys. for us. They're showing it on Disney Plus in the USA from now until October 7th. And guess what it says? It says visit Scentsy.com to find a consultant. So that's pretty cool, right? I mean, that's huge brand awareness, like huge. Not everybody gets to partner with Disney. And you want to make sure you are a lead consultant, and you want to make sure you're paid at title every month as a lead consultant. Because if somebody's going to put in a zip code looking for a consultant, that's what's going to pop up on Scentsy.com for them. So if you're not a lead consultant yet, make a plan to get there. Use those Scentsy success paths to get there, to get to lead. It's going to get you good points for the incentive, and it might get you some customers from those commercials. So that's pretty fun.
And I think that that just really also shows how invested like Scentsy not going anywhere, you know. And I feel like a lot of people question direct sales and, you know, multi-level marketing and stuff like that, but when you have confidence in your company, it shows. And I feel like this is giving us all the confidence to keep going, that we're not going anywhere.
Totally. When I posted about that commercial, I said, not every company, not Disney doesn't partner with every company. And we're not like the other direct sales companies. We are the best, you know. Start telling people that. Start telling people Scentsy not going anywhere, that we're not like Rodan and Fields, or we're not like those other companies that go to affiliate. We're here to stay. We know that in our hearts, and well, maybe you didn't know that, but now you know that. But our customers don't know that. It's up to us to tell them. So be sure to be spreading that news about how amazing this company is, because it is. All right. Next SFR, Minneapolis. Write this down, July 28th through 31st. Mark it on your calendar. What I do right now for incentives, I do a post-it because I don't have my calendar for next year. I'm not that kind of girl. But I'll do a post-it and I'll write the dates down, and then I put it at the very back of my calendar so that when I switch calendars over, I have all of the dates there. So mark it down, and we want you guys to come with us and experience Scentsy Family Reunion in person. So excited. Anything else we're forgetting? Anything else you guys want to add for those who went and didn't share? Is there anything you want to share?
I know we have a lot of Disney people, and Brandy and I talked to the licensing guy, because I know we hear all the time, and so I think it would be good to bring up about how sometimes Disney goes on the clearance, and he wanted to assure us, because we asked about that, because if you have people that are waiting for Disney to go on clearance, you've noticed that it hasn't happened in a minute. And when it does, it is things from COVID times. So they keep putting that in. And he said, I think he did say Ratatouille and Small World will come back eventually, but don't look for them to be on the clearance rack. That was just because, remember when we used to have to, what was that called? When we had to make the payment and then they would ship the
Pre-orders.
items. And so they were super popular. And so they wanted to create more, and then all of a sudden they got stuck because it took so long. And that's why you keep on seeing Nightmare Before Christmas and everything else. So tell your customers to get on it, because he said you're not going to be seeing Disney clearance of any of the new items.
Yeah.
Did you want to add to that, Brandy?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because I think you said like it took 6 months. Like it would, but if they ordered more, it took 2 months for it to get from where they were made to us, and then they had to the United States, then had to ship across. So it could be up to 6 months before we got product. So basically, we've caught up to the COVID curve, and so we're not selling out of, yeah, like you said, we're not selling out of things. So customers that used to wait, just let your customers know that there's, I personally haven't had that happen to me yet, but I did want something and I waited on it and it sold out for me. So things, you know, the Inside Out collection sold out, Ratatouille sold out. That's gonna be the norm. They don't want it to sell out in 5 minutes, but in a week is kind of what they're looking at. So don't wait, you know, make sure you do those pre-orders. And something I used to do is I would wait. I didn't show my customers something new that was until like the week before it came out, right? Because I don't want them to not buy Mickey Mouse because I showed them that the poison apple is coming in 2 weeks. I want them to buy Mickey Mouse and then see the poison apple and want to buy the poison apple also. But times are different now. So I made I have like sheets. Sorry.
Girl.
I'm excited. Calm down. And because of TikTok and whatnot, people already know. So why hold out? So I'm just gonna start sharing all of that information with my customers and let them know that like the sorting hat is not coming until after Thanksgiving. So plan for that. Like, don't buy so and so's Christmas present because you want to get them the sorting hat. Get on my pre-list now. And be ready for when those things come out. So you have your pre-order list ready and you're not selling after, because after is gonna sell out. Sorry.
Good thoughts. Anybody else want to share?
Did we talk about how they closed down Universal Studios?
Oh
Like, I feel
gosh,
like
no.
we
Yeah, tell
missed
them about
that.
our night.
Yeah, they closed it down. Not only that, then they opened all the restaurants and all the little food things and whatever, and it was all free. Like, so it was so awesome to be able to walk on to Minions, like walk right on. And then we walked right on the Jimmy Fallon one and walked right into these guys singing, and we were like the only ones there. Like, it was
Yeah.
so awesome.
Red carpet for sure. And they even went so far as to the rides where you had to have lockers. They gave us a ticket and you got the locker for free. You didn't have to pay for it. So very nice. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
All right. So who's excited about Minneapolis? Yeah. Even if Minneapolis isn't anywhere you would ever want to go, Cincy has taken us to places I never thought I want to go all over the United States. So go because you're gonna have fun. And the Mall of America is there, and it has an amusement park inside it. It's amazing. So
Also,
Can I say something quick?
yeah.
of course.
I lived in Minnesota for 19 years,
Oh,
and there is so many things you don't even know exist. They have the largest candy store in the world out there that you want to be able to experience.
you're gonna have to make a list for us.
Yeah.
I will definitely make a list because my sister's joining my team this month, and so she can meet my oldest son she's never met.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're gonna come to Minneapolis?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
As
great.
soon as they announced it, I was like, we're going.
That's awesome.
That's how I went to my first SFR. It was in Las Vegas and my daughter's grandma lived there. And so I was like, oh, well, we can make it a double trip. Like we can visit with her and do SFR. So, you know, I think a lot of people, that's what they do. They figure like, oh, this can be a double trip and do some fun things.
Yeah.
Casey and I did some research after because we were like, what the heck? Why would they send us to Minneapolis, Minnesota? First, I was like, we've been on the East Coast for 3 years now. It should have been on our side of the country, but what the heck? So, Casey, do you remember what we found? You don't want to talk? Okay, so we found out that the world, or I don't know if it's the world or the United States, but the largest indoor amusement park is there. And it is Nickelodeon themed. So if we're thinking about licensing, going to a theme park by Nickelodeon on opening night would be kind of cool. If we had a Nickelodeon partnership.
Is that the one that's inside a Mall of America? Or is there another one?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll have to ask Jenna.
It is in the Mall of America.
Yeah.
There's
And they did
also an
talk-
aquarium.
Wow. They did talk a lot about the Mall of America. Maybe they're gonna close that down for us.
There's actually 4 levels and 4, so it goes north, south, east, and west. There's so much shopping there. It's just prepare your pocketbooks.
And luggage.
No, it's about luggage.
Awesome.
Luggage.
Anybody else want to share anything? I'm so glad you joined us, and I hope you learned some things that maybe you didn't know, and you're excited about some things. Especially excited about the fall winter selling season, new products, and earning the incentive check next year and going to SFR next year. So thank you for joining us. I'm gonna post the recording on the team page. I'll throw it into a YouTube video so you can share it easily and share it with your teamies and get them excited about coming and not just to SFR, but earning that incentive trip too. Okay, good night. Feel better, Brandy.
Thank you.